So I think it's a pretty common consensus amongst us fanboys that Thor Ragnarok was the softcore kick-in-the-ass reboot the franchise needed after The Dark World. Note: there are tons of video essays about the comedy and the use of bathos in Ragnarok, so I won't really touch on that. Go watch those other video essays instead. Cool? Cool. Let me start off by saying I like Ragnarok. I don't love it, I don't hate it, it's just fine. I can appreciate the comedy, the Kirby-esque set design, those super nice shots, and the overall Saturday morning cartoon vibe. But Thor Ragnarok is not the best Thor movie. Thor is. Seriously, Patrick Doyle's theme is so good, like damn. Anyways, Thor is the best Thor movie. It has one of the best MCU screenplays, Loki is at his best, everything just works. Thor is a very traditional Shakespearean narrative structure. That's no surprise since it's directed by Shakespeare himself, Kenneth Branagh, whose directing credits include Henry V, in which he played King Henry, Much Ado About Nothing, a movie about directing Hamlet, A Midwinter's Tale, Hamlet, in which he played Hamlet, Macbeth, in which he played Macbeth. Branagh seems like the optimal choice to direct a Thor movie since he is very much a Renaissance man. Hell, I'm surprised he didn't cast himself as Thor. His direction is great, it's stylish, the use of real sets, and the color, the goddamn color. But what I really think makes Thor the best Thor movie is character. All the characters have very memorable personalities, fleshed out motivations, and goals. Jane, Selvig, the Warriors 3, Sif, Darcy even, but let's focus on the two main characters. First off is the titular character, Thor. Thor goes from being a boastful, ego-driven god to being a caring, humbled hero. Hemsworth, who is practically an unknown at this point in his career, is full of swagger and energy, but also manages to nail the scenes that require a much more subdued and careful performance. I much prefer this heroic Thor to the more comedic, carefree one we see in Ragnarok. He has friends that he cares about, you know, the kind of pals that if he died, it would completely devastate. Oh. Where's Sif, by the way? Anyways, Thor is, what's the best word for him? Caring? Yeah, caring. Thor cares. He doesn't have a nonchalant attitude, he cares about everyone, or rather, his character arc is learning to care for everyone. This scene always sticks with me. Say what you will about Natalie Portman's Jane Foster, but Hemsworth's acting, the score, the dialogue, it just oozes with passion and romance.
Listen to me, you must not give up. You must finish what you started.
Why?
Because you're right. Your ancestors called it magic, and you call it science. Well, I come from a place where they're one and the same thing. Now you see it every day without realizing. The images glimpsed through, what did you call it, this Hubble telescope. Hubble telescope.
Tell me more.
Thank you, Jane.
It's such a simple exposition scene. Its only purpose on paper is to explain the 9 realms to the audience, but it's written and directed in such a way that we feel for Thor. We want to hear his exposition. We want him to end up with Jane, which is why when this moment hits,
Destroy the bridge or let us fear again!
Forgive me, Jane. It hits with gravitas. Marvel always succeeds at making their heroes heroic. Thor sacrifices his chances of seeing Jane again to save his people. I think that's what makes a hero, not being strong, not being super, but their willingness to sacrifice what they love for the good of their people.
Sometimes, to do what's right, we have to be steady and give up the thing we want the most, even our dreams.
So by the end of the film, Thor clearly cares. He cares for Asgard, for Jane, for his father, for his mother, and of course, for Loki. Loki's character isn't just pure evil, he isn't just a punchline, he's a sympathetic villain.
I'm the monster parents tell their children about at night. You know, it all makes sense now why you favored Thor all these years.
He wants one thing, to be loved by his father. Not his real father, he kills him, but the love of Odin. His entire scheme is to look heroic and gain his father's respect. Essentially, Odin's particular brand of parenting is the inciting evil. Seriously, just look at this scene.
I'm ready, Father. So am I.
Only one of you can ascend to the throne, but both of you were born to be kings.
Yeah guys, Odin is the textbook definition of the villain. We feel for Loki. We don't necessarily want Thor to beat his ass, like most other MCU appearances. We kind of just want someone to hug him and tell him it's okay, because that's all he really wants, approval.
I could have done it! For you! For all of us!
No, Loki.
A good antagonist is competing for the same goal as the protagonist, which in this case is the approval of their father. We can relate to that, we can sympathize with that, we can understand that. I honestly couldn't tell you what Hela's motivation was. I know what her plan is, but I don't know why.
A wise king
He never seeks out war.
but must always be
ready for it.
That's what separates good villains from forgettable ones, the why factor. That's why Loki works so well. Even though Thor ends up winning Odin's approval, we don't necessarily want Loki to lose it either. That's why when Thor receives what he wants,
You've already made me proud.
the scene is almost melancholy. I saw Ragnarok in the theater opening night with my lady friend and one of my best mates. Can Americans say that? And I think all our opinions can be summed up in one phrase. Stunning, fun, funny, forgettable. I know that was a good way to end the video, but hold on, this is a better one. I'm gonna get hit with the copyright strike, but fuck it. I present to you the final moments of Thor.
Can you see her?
Yes.
I have the particle detectors. Morrisey, do you have the shield satellite codes?
Yeah. Have you seen my taser?
How is she?
In the car. Come on, Jay.
She searches for you.
I'm gonna plug the Patreon now. Please consider donating to our Patreon. It really helps out. We make no ad revenue off these videos. All our support comes from fans like you and people who like our videos. So please, $1 helps. Thank you so much, and subscribe for more.